In today's unprecedented times, digitalization has become of utmost importance for businesses to sustain, survive, and thrive. But how can organizations accelerate their digital transformation journey while ensuring 99.99% uptime in their operations? In order to initiate dialogues around output-driven technological and business innovations that solve the need of the hour, Siemens conceptualized India Innovation Day in 2018. This year, with the theme Accelerate Digital Transformation, Innovation Day was back again and focused on creating sustainable value for businesses by showcasing solutions that can accelerate digital transformation across verticals and industries. Siemens India Innovation Day 2022 was kick-started with the opening address by Sunil Mathur, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Siemens Limited, wherein he spoke about how the company is accelerating the journey of digital transformation in India.
I think it is fair to say that the last 2 or 3 years have seen a sea change in the way businesses are having to collaborate or operate. We're talking about political volatility. We're talking about volatility in the supply chains. We're talking about interest rates going up, inflation going up. All of these areas, we're talking about increasing needs for decarbonization. All of these are putting a lot of stress on the way businesses are having to operate. So companies really are having, and all of you here, are having to juggle with a whole lot of things. Volatility on the one hand, at a level that we have never experienced before, and therefore the need to be flexible, to be agile, to save costs, to save capex, to save cash, to increase productivity, to increase quality, but at the same time, start on a clear program to reduce the carbon footprint. This is not an easy equation to be juggling. And meeting the regulatory requirements on the one hand, while managing the business and the quarterly performances to the stock markets with all the disclosures that are required, is becoming an increasing challenge. So finally, this is where technology and digitalization plays a key role, be it in manufacturing, be it in logistics, be it in the energy transition process. While many companies and many of you have already embarked on your journeys of digital transformation, if we have to be competitive in this country, if we have to achieve all the goals that are laid out by the regulators, but also by stakeholders. Shareholders are becoming increasingly critical about the way business is actually being done. We will need to accelerate the transformation on this digital journey. And we will need to translate this from our countries, our companies, right through to the 60 million small and medium companies in our pipelines. 60 million small and medium enterprises will have to be linked in to our businesses if we want to be more productive, greater quality, and work on a decarbonized strategy. Thank you very much.
Next, we had a keynote address on accelerating digital transformation by Peter Korte, Chief Technology Officer and Strategy Officer, Siemens AG. In this session, Peter Korte shared his insights on how Siemens is supporting India in its digital transformation journey in a sustainable and efficient way. He also unveiled Siemens' new open digital business platform. To find out, let's listen in.
I'm very delighted to tell you a little bit about where we think the world is going to go with technology and how Siemens can help. As Sunil said, we're living in very challenging and very interesting times. Coming from Europe, I can tell you this is a very interesting time. That said, though, how are we looking at the world? And we are very optimistic. Why is that? Because we believe in the power of technology. We believe that technology with purpose can almost solve any major issues that we are facing as we speak today. Now let me walk you through this. And one key term that we really like using and also technology that we are applying with many of our customers worldwide are digital twins. However, this is vastly accelerating because it now includes the whole simulation with regards to multiphysics, the integration of electronics, and of course the management of software. And I know very well that today many of you are not just in manufacturing, you're in many other areas. So let me tell you that digital twins, we believe, will be almost anywhere. So cars is an obvious one, but how about buildings? So having the building information modeling, so the BIM models really now coming up. And then lastly, something that is also near dear to our heart, although it's now separate, is Siemens Healthineers. Of course, you can build digital twins of humans. So we believe that digital twins really are a big deal for the future. Now, you may say, where do we stand on this? And maybe you've heard, of course, about the industrial metaverse nowadays. Everybody is talking about the metaverse. Here, it is about humans and machines interacting alike. So no matter where you start, you don't need to become the all real-time photorealistic collaborative multi-physics digital twin. You don't start there. Usually you start with a digital model and then the journey begins in order to optimize it over time. So we believe generally that in the future, IT, meaning information technology, and OT, operation technology, will intersect and will become much more interchangeably becoming together in order to drive the data that you need to have along the entire process flow that I've just shown you, from design, simulation, engineering, commissioning, automation, service, and recycling. That is the ambition after all. So how do we make this work? The question is, how do we make this faster, easier, and in the B2B environment in particular, very important, at scale? So therefore, we launched Siemens Accelerator. Siemens Accelerator is all about enabling your digital transformation, make it faster, make it easier, and in particular make it at scale, which means essentially driving down costs. So how do we do this? So what you see here is we want to cover the entire stack all the way from OT to IT. Now, all of this now is being aggregated, as we know, by edge computing or eventually cloud computing, and then together coming with applications and software on top of it. So you may say, well, this is nothing new to us, so that sounds good. So where is the difference? And the magic actually is sitting in the 4 words that you find, or the 5 words that you find on the right side. And with that, I thank you so much.
At this gathering, Siemens launched Siemens Accelerator in India with an objective to accelerate digital transformation and for value creation of large enterprises and MSMEs. Siemens Accelerator is an open and evolving digital business ecosystem that comprises a comprehensive curated portfolio, including digital and Internet of Things enabled offerings like software, hardware, and digital services from Siemens and certified third parties. Moving on, Siemens expert Pratyush Nag, Managing Director, Control and Digitalization, Siemens Energy, shared his views on implementing decarbonization via digital transformation.
Let's start with where are we today in the world in terms of energy and how this is applicable to India in specific. The first thing we talk about is demand. I think most of you already know that about 1 billion people in the world do not have access to electricity. And this has to change. How, in our next generations to come, can we enable this to happen? And what we need to be absolutely mindful of is we cannot do things the way we have been doing for the last decades. We have to decarbonize. We are seeing the effects of climate change every single day. Decentralization of energy is extremely key, especially in India, where we have a very distributed grid system. And the glue that connects it all is digitalization. This is the future. This is where we will take our industry, our energy for tomorrow. In Siemens Energy, what we are trying to do is to bring a change with these 5 fields of action: the decarbonized heat and industrial processes, power to X, resilient grids and reliability, condition-based service interventions, and energy storage. So now I want to give you some examples of what technology is coming in terms of in the energy sector. Digital transformers, where we have sensors and monitoring, which extends the lifetime of your products. And this is where you come to have, well, 10% additional profit, $12,000 of annual savings by doing a condition-based maintenance. Let me tell you another very interesting example that we have. It's called C-Aero, or Siemens Energy Aero System. The picture there is of a drone. This drone is now capable of detecting issues or inspect high voltage power lines. 4,000 kilometers of it. With artificial intelligence, it can go and check for faults, which previously used to take helicopters and a lot of manpower to do. So that is transferability of technology in different places and different industry sectors.
The next session of the event was focused on driving sustainability through innovation with Dr. Klaus Staubitzer, Chief Procurement Officer and Head of Supply Chain, Siemens AG, taking center stage.
You see a lot of global conflicts. You see decoupling things coming around. You see different global activities. We see the different economies drifting apart. We see situations when any kind of executive order from the US president or Chinese president will have a major impact on supply chain. So if we see all these trends, if you see all these challenges, so the question is, what's the impact on procurement and supply chain? So we ask ourselves, so how can we describe that? And we said, it's pretty simple. All these challenges will lead to the situation that we have to think about what we buy, where we buy, and how we buy. Peter, in his presentation, pointed out this digital technology, this digital twin philosophy. And based on that digital twin technology, we add a digital cost twin. So based on our experiences with our suppliers, based on the cost structure, on the cost breakdowns from millions of projects, we know exactly what's the digital cost twin. And based on the cost twin, we elaborate a digital green twin, which allows us to analyze the CO2 emission of the different parts of the supplier. This is a direction we have to go in the collaboration with our suppliers, with our customers. Thank you.
What do customers want and need to be agile to digitally transform their business? To find out, let's dive into our Power Pack panel discussion, wherein speakers brought alive possibilities of what digital transformation can mean for organizations and how to best harness it to be market leaders.
In today's disruptive world, what role an engineering company like Siemens has to play? Solutions, relevance, profit maximization. It's a cliche to use the word digital transformation, but how it is actually adopted and how it can actually be applied. So that's going to be the engaging conversation which we would be doing it. And America, I'll start with you. Welcome to India. When you talk about the evolving dynamics of the world, the word is disruption. The rate of change is extraordinary. Give us an example as to how are you gauging it? Where are the changes which could be captured? And what role is Siemens playing in that?
In the last few years, there was actually terrible changes. Yeah, we had the pandemic, of course, we had the war in Ukraine. And so when you look at this change, this uncertainty is making the business very different than it was before. Yeah. So when you look at the different places, the different part of the ecosystem working together, this is waiting to be captured. It's a new way of looking at supply chain, like Klaus said, the new way of looking at digital twin that allow us to bring value even with this ever-changing world, yeah? I mean, to give you an example, you look at a lot of different factories, and Siemens have more than 150 factories, yeah? They're all different, but you need to have that approach that is flexible enough, that is production has to be changed, production has to be optimized, you have the digital tool, and you have the people to be able to execute them. This is why, by the way, this is what one of the reasons that this accelerator that was launched today in India is extremely important, because it's an open portfolio that allow actually to have this flexibility around how we deal with problem of this ever-changing world.
Anurag, where do you think from your standpoint and in a partnership with Siemens, India has reached in terms of a migration? Because the word digital is a loosely used word, but where are we in terms of real adaptation?
The pace of change that we are seeing in the world and is tremendous. Some of these digital technologies which have come up, the pace at which they have come up, businesses have yet not been able to sort of adapt it to its full potential. So to that extent, we are seeing that different businesses and organizations in India are at different stages of adapting to various digital technologies. However, the rate of adoption across different companies, organizations is a lot driven by, I would say, their leadership, the vision that they are able to sort of have, their understanding of these digital technologies, and we see a wide variation. But one thing is very clear, what we see is everybody understands the importance of what digital can do in the business. It's just that at what pace are they adopting it? Are they willing to make the investments, make it a top 3 priority? That we see varying across different organizations quite a bit.
My understanding of HUL is that their margins in the last 10 years have expanded by 10%. How much of that margin expansion has helped largely because of digital transformation?
FMCG companies, the innovation is the key to it. And how can I reduce my innovation or the product development lead time? Can technology help? And it has certainly helped it in cutting it to almost by 50%. Unilever also has sustainability as its key, deliverables, or I would call it as a central part of it. And with using the technology, we have been able to cut down our greenhouse gases by almost 30 to 35%. And we have a target by 2025 to half it. So technology has given us back the revenue in terms of putting it behind our brands to grow, and Unilever believes that brands with purpose will grow.
So Prakash, some would argue that HUL is a big company, they have budgets for digital transformation, but our audience here want to understand that what is in for digital transformation for SMEs, MSMEs, and what role you think Siemens would play in that?
I think there is a myth that's going around that digital transformation interventions are very relevant for large companies like Unilever. I think on the contrary, what mid-sized emerging companies lack in scale, I think they make it up by agility and superior customer experience. And that's where digitalization really has a big role to play in my mind. Let me give you an example. A small enterprise trying to create a market using digitalization not only to become efficient themselves, but also to make their customers efficient and effective so that they could better serve their customers. So I think digitalization is there for everybody. With the cloud coming in, it's becoming even more relevant because small companies, emerging companies are able to jump onto this bandwagon without the additional operational complexity or large investments upfront. And that's where even a platform like Accelerator, what we talked about, is a great way to start.
Every conversation we've had, I think, was very relevant and very important as to how the future of world is shaping. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for this lovely panel.
At Siemens India's annual flagship event, Siemens India Innovation Day 2022, the interactive exhibit zone showcased a wide range of the latest technologies and innovative solutions that was focused on topics like sustainability and profitability, availability and scalability, efficiency and quality, resilience and flexibility, and transparency and speed. Siemens India Innovation Day 2022 also facilitated in-depth breakout sessions on technologies. Firstly, in the data center session, experts shed light on building sustainable data centers, leveraging sustainable and alternate energy solutions for data center power requirements, and discussed ideas towards a sustainable path. Next up, in the decarbonization session, speakers spoke about the roadmap to decarbonization through sustainable energy solutions, EMAAS, the evolution of e-mobility, and decarbonization for digital applications. Experts in Future of Manufacturing session focused on how organizations can leverage AI, digital ecosystems, and data analytics to achieve efficient production with the help of cutting-edge concepts and technologies. Lastly, through the supplier collaboration and sustainability session, Siemens experts throw light on what the company is doing on the sustainability and compliance front, the importance and benefits of collaboration and products that Siemens offers to their customers to build a sustainable future.
The world is getting more volatile. The world is getting more complex. The world is getting much more unpredictable. There is very clearly a need to drive decarbonization through the entire supply chain to every company. For us in Siemens, sustainability now is at the center of everything that we do. We are going to be growing in Siemens. We have growth plans. India has growth plans, and we will be a part of that growth. We would like very much for you to be a part of that growth story with us. But sustainability will be the foundation on which we will grow. Now, for the time being, there are 3 clear initiatives that we are talking about, that we are mandating from each of our suppliers. The first is, of course, the adoption of the Code of Conduct. The second is external sustainability audits. And the third is carbon web assessment. So let's work on this journey together. It will be not an easy journey, but as long as we are committed to doing the right thing, we will walk down that road together.
I strongly believe sustainability has the magnitude to grow a business or not in future. Sustainability for us has 2 pieces. It's assurance and it's performance. Assurance is a must. Code of conduct, self-assessment, ESG is something which is the foundation of our collaboration. And when it comes to performance, we invite you really to be part of this journey, to be part of the carbon web assessments, and also to be part of our digital green twin journey. And the real trick is we all together, we have such an impact into the overall supplier base, into the overall material fields. It's amazing. If we drill it down to the different tiers of our supplier base, that really makes a substantial difference, and that really saves the environment and also creates business.
By combining the real and digital worlds, Siemens, a technology company, is empowering its customers to transform their industries and markets in order to build a better and sustainable future.